So what are some of the delivery options and considerations with in-store fulfillment? In the industry, a lot of times there's a generic term called last mile. This is really the last mile that we need to consider. First, I want to talk about customer pickup at the store. What is that experience going to be like? One of the things that are often heard from our customers is that when you set these up, you actually have to manage that time window, so it's very narrow. Some of our customers have said 2 and 3 minutes is the maximum they want to have a customer wait to pick up an order. And do you want to have the customer come to a customer service counter, or do you want them to remain in their automobile so they can just pull into a drive-up window, get their items, and then drive off? Again, a game-changing experience. In order to set up a drive-up window, many times you might have to make alterations to your store. So that's a very significant consideration you have to make in terms of cost and timing of setting up store pickup for your customers. So one of the factors you need to consider if you're setting up store pickup with a drive-up lane is you might have to make physical alterations to your store. So that's a major cost and timing consideration that you need to make in turning on this capability in your store. Another concept that we're seeing out there today is people installing storage lockers conveniently located in neighborhoods. What happens is you might do the fulfillment and then you transfer the fulfilled items into the storage locker, and the customer gets a code so they can open their locker and get their items. These are becoming very popular in different parts of the US and outside the US. Some of the considerations or concerns that we've seen around storage lockers is, especially if you have grocery type items, many times the freshness is a real challenge. So that is a concern. But we do have customers that have actually put together totes that actually are packed with dry ice, and they can maintain the freshness and the condition of the items even if they're stored in a locker. Storage lockers also give you the opportunity to really reduce a lot of the labor costs for the handoff to the customer, because now it's an typically unmanned situation where the customer is actually opening their own locker and retrieving their items without having to have a lot of customer interaction. One other concept that we're seeing people engaging in is using small footprint stores like convenience stores as a staging location. It's easy to pull up into these areas, and with a staging area in those convenience stores, it makes a nice setup for people to receive the staged and picked items and for the customer to come and pick it up. And many times it's just located in a very nice and convenient space for the consumer to retrieve their items. And certainly another approach and traditional approach to last mile is delivery. Of course, you've got the traditional carriers that already deliver many other e-commerce items that could be doing that delivery, picking up at your store, for example, and then delivering it direct to your doorstep. But there's a number of other models that are evolving. We have customers that have dedicated fleets where they actually take the items that are fulfilled and deliver them with sophisticated routing tools to make sure that the deliveries are made at the right time in a good, logical, minimal miles type path. But we're also even starting to see concepts where you have almost like a pizza delivery person that's just doing a very local delivery from the retail store to within a 1 or 2 or 3 mile type radius from that store delivery. The cost is low, and the turnaround time from the time they pick up till they deliver is very short. So whatever that last mile experience is that you want to have for your customer, it has to be good, and it has to meet expectations and even exceed them. It has to be compelling enough so that you can differentiate and compete against other e-commerce retailers. So in this next series, we're going to talk about what are some of the impacts that your organization has to be prepared for to do omni-channel fulfillment, especially when it's inside of a retail store.